SSH can be, it's very particular. I'll say it like that. When it works, it works. But if you get some little thing wrong, then it doesn't work for you. The errors are not obvious. And you don't know what went wrong. They just don't. Oftentimes, if you're HPC centers expect their users to be connecting by SSH. Call their helpline, ask their helpline. My center, for security, SSH is a secure shell. That's what it stands for. And so they want you to use SSH for security, but they make you jump through hoops for security. So if you get the config right, it works for you, and hopefully the people who are trying to hack your systems aren't getting it right. But I can show you my SSH config. That works. Okay, here I am on a cluster. We've got some idle nodes, salloc-n1. Let's see what we get here. Look at that. I got a job ID in my prompt. You should put that in your prompt. Here I am on a nice cluster. I have bash la.bash profile cat.bash profile. Ha ha ha. This is the trick. For file in .config/bash. Oops. Bash prompt here. It's going to source that file. So my bash prompt is defined in .config bash. .bash prompt. Cat. All right, and this is my bash prompt. Again, I'm setting up colors. I love pretty colors. This is, I Googled it. How do I get colors in my bash prompt? Copied it from Stack Overflow, put it in here. I don't understand how it works, but it works. Sometimes I put my Git information into my bash prompt. Here's where I put my job ID. We actually have many resource managers at my center. We have Slurm. Oops. We have Slurm and LSF and Flux. So I just have it work once. So this double brackets here, this is bash syntax. Again, double brackets is actually a command in bash, but it's bash syntax. Your shell, if you're using a different shell, might look slightly different. But it's testing that this variable is defined. If it is defined, then it's echoing here. Everything that gets echoed out by this special file called bash prompt ends up in your prompt here. Well, ends up because you define this variable down here called PS1. PS1 is what defines your prompt. And so this is a little function called job ID. The function returns a little string, echoes out a string, and over here in white or black is where we get our job ID. Again, so you probably saw lots of people had fun. I think maybe it was Ludwig who had like weird triangle shapes in your prompt. That requires setting up fonts and getting fonts right on your system to get those shape symbols. If you can get it to work, it's cool. But if you don't want to bother, don't bother. You'll notice I have a lot of configs and stuff. My .files repo is Um, 400 commits. Let's see. How can I find how old it is? It's got to be 10 years old. 10 years old, 400 commits. So I commit to it whenever I tweak little things. I think of these little tweaks as like a Zen garden. You go in, you poke, you don't want to do anything else, but you want to pretend that you're working. You go in, you tend to your little Zen garden of configs and colors, and it all counts. Let's see. (2012). Let's see. I don't know how to do that search. But yeah, probably 10 years of tending to this little garden of configurations. Another cool thing about shells is the star. LS. The star is called globbing, and what it does is it is basically a wildcard match. So if I just ls everything in this directory, it seems like I have a lot of slurm things. I could do ls slurm -star, and it has done some globbing. Let's say I want to print out the job IDs of all of these things. Let's try to make a nice for loop. So again, Marco, where am I? I'm on one of my work machines. I know I'm using bash. I also have a $, which is a hint to myself. I've set up the prompt, a hint to myself. I'm in bash and not fish. So I got to be using bash syntax. So let's see if we can make a little for loop that gets me the numbers out of each one of these matching things. For I in ls slurm star, do echo I. Done. I've again just memorized the format of a for loop in bash, and if you don't have it memorized, you can look it up on the web. Highly recommend. That's what computer scientists are doing. They don't memorize everything. They Google it when they need it. The computer knows. Okay, and I just did an echo, so I have the basic for loop that I want, so then I can hit the up arrow to keep typing things. I don't want echo I. I want just the numbers out of I. How might I go about getting it? Haha, I know about the cut command in Linux, man cut. Remove sections from each line of a file. D is the delimiter, where you cut, and then F is the field number that you want to select. So we're going to use that pipe. Echo just starts printing out the contents of what I is, and we're going to pipe that to the cut command. My delimiter is going to be this dash that is nicely between where it says slurm and the number. And then we're going to take the second field. The slurm will be the first field. The number will be the second field. Haha. And then we can cut again. This time the delimiter will be that nice dot, and we'll take the first field. Hey, numbers. So cut command, very useful. Another useful command is the tr command. That means truncate. If you have like human text with variable numbers of like spaces between words, or it was kind of tabbed, it was spaced, eliminated so that like things lined up into nice columns. The TR command can collapse many spaces into a single space, which then lets you use cut to cut at one space and get consistent things across. How can I demonstrate that? All right, I'm gonna go up to where I still had this dot out, and let's use another thing, redirection here. This is my files done. Redirection means instead of printing to the screen, I'm going to redirect everything that would have been printed, send it into a text file. Now if I cat files.text, I have my contents. Now I can edit files.text. Sorry, files.text. Here's my file. Maybe I'm doing some work and I line this up nicely. And let's replace the dot character with a space character. Oops, that didn't work. Okay. All right, let's look at my files.text. I have two spaces. Things look kind of nice. What if, again, now I have this, what if I wanted to get just that number out of it using my cuts and my things? Let's go up to my for loop again. We'll do this one. But that was coming from my ls. Let's just try a new for loop coming from this files.text. For I in cat files.text, do echo I. Done. This is how I edit loops, is I type out the very basics. Here's my index I think I'm getting. I echo it. And here's what came out of it. I always start there, hit the up arrow, and go and edit it again because I can't keep too many things in my head. I'm surprised that these came out on different lines and not on the same line. Very surprised. Let's see. Didn't work how I thought it would work. I don't know, I'll have to noodle. I don't know how to get it to give me just a line by line with just a for loop. Probably because I have spaces. I don't think I actually need the for loop. I think I could just do cat files and pipe it. Cut to a space to eliminate. Yeah. Dash F1. Haha. So cut on the space. Let me just show you what was files again. Cat files. It had, there's all those hidden spaces. When you do the cut command, it's looking at the wrong numbers of spaces. So this is where TR is going to be useful. TR dash S. I don't remember how TR works. Man, TR. I know it's useful. S is for squeeze. Replace a sequence of repeated characters with the last one in the set. Man, TR. What am I missing? I can search my bash history with Control R, and I can start typing things. Control C, Control R. If I type TR space -S space, there's an old command that I used, and then I hit Control C to keep it, but not run it. If I had hit enter when it was pulled up, they would have tried to run this. Here's a TO, and that was where my cursor was. So cat files.txt tr-s space cut -d space -f1. All right. Any ideas how we would solve this? I want to somehow get rid of the spaces just at the beginning of the line. I just want to get rid of these spaces, but I can't get rid of all spaces because that would get rid of these. And this this file is a million lines long, so I'm certainly not going to go in and edit it. What else could we do here? Hire a student. Let's see. I'm going to noodle for a bit. So I think what's happening after the TR. I still have this leading space here. I think that's what's happening. Hmm?
You only took out 2 spaces. There's 4 spaces there. There's only one removal right per line. You're asking why you still have the space at the beginning, the top line.
No, I know why I still have the space. I can't cut it. How do I get the 156 and this next one? Using cut. Cut's not going to do it. Yeah, sure.
Said.
Ah, yeah, I could use that. Yeah.
Said is the solution to every problem.
Said.
You're editing text. Said and operator was random.
Yeah. Which means you have to Google how to use said. Which could accomplish it. Let's see. I think, though, what I could do, maybe I could reverse the line of text. Bash. Reverse line of text. Ooh. Is that the thing?
Yeah, R&D, and then you can.
Aha. So what you do when you run into this is you go walk down the hall until you find someone who knows the answer. Man, REV. Reverse lines character-wise. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't know that I've ever used this before. Let's look at my history and see if I have an REV. Yeah, looking through my history, I don't think I've ever used REV before. Oh, there it is. Just once or twice. Okay, so cat files.txt gets us this. Pipe it into REV gets us that. Pipe it into cut. On that first space, take the second half of the cut gets us this. Pipe it back through REV gets us that. Haha. tiny little games you can play on the command line to get your work done. Was it faster than editing that file? No. Do I feel more accomplishment? Yes.
Can you go over one?
The screen command?
Yeah.
I don't know how to use the screen command. Does anyone else here use the screen command?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about screen for a bit? Briefly?
Screen is a local. So you just type screen. But you can type screen here. And that's at first sight, this just created. Just type any command, say ls. Ls. Anything. Yeah.
There we go.
That's fine. But now you would like to create a second command. So type Control A for attention, and then lift the control, and then C for creating. So now you've created a second terminal here. You can type another command here. And you can keep creating as many as you want. And then you type again Control A for attention, and then a number from 0 to 1. And then you can switch between all these. So if you type Control A0, you will go back to the first one.
Uh-huh.
And then Control A1, and then you're back in the second one.
It's still
And
sleeping.
you can type Control AD for detach. And they will all keep running in the background now, even if you're set to lift the receiver. And they can type screen-R for reattach.
Is this another email?
Sorry?
Is this like email?
Yeah, it's email. I'd say successor. Yes, it was better. Email is
So the thing with screen, so if I run screen, I'm in a new session. And if for whatever reason my laptop dies, that session is still going. Is that what I'm understanding? Is I could disconnect my VPN and then
Exactly.
later come back and connect
And
it?
not just the one
Interesting.
screen, all 10 of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
like reboot and fill the process.
Okay.
The way you
So if I
type
came in on a
attach screen,
new
you start
here.
new multiple screens.
Yeah, if I
If you type screen-R here, you're going to reattach to the screens you were.
So here I was actually running, let's see, I'm on RZ Slick 18. S info. Let's see. I think it'll run until my allocation dies.
Yes, if you're on a node here, of course.
So let's, if I create a new window, pretend my laptop died. I open up my laptop again. Here I am. Where am I, Marco? I'm actually here on my local laptop. And I'm not using fish. Marco. There we go. So I can try my SSH command again. I didn't have to type my password this time because I have a config in place. Screen-R. There's no screen. I'm on the wrong node. That's why I have my node in my prompt, in my Marco, or the real command to run is called host name. Tells you the name of the server, compute server node that you're on. SQ. There's my job. It's on RZ Slick 18. So I should be able to SSH right into RZ Slick 18. I guess here for security, they need my password. Screen-R. Hey, it's so nice. What was it? Control A.
Control A just remember this for attention.
Oh,
And then it's either create, chat, or another.
okay. Control A0, Control A1, Control
And
A2.
Max can do way
How do
more
I
things,
break one of
but
these?
There are way more options you need to remember.
Okay. How do I get rid of one of them?
Control D or exit.
Ah. And that exits the screen.
Yes.
Oh.
Now, but and then if you exit this one too, when you exit the last screen will exit.
Yeah. And that's my last one. Screen session terminating. Oh, cool.
Can I add one more thing or two for screen?
Sure.
You can name different screens, which I usually find very convenient. So can you type screen minus ls from not within screen? Yes, they have no space at all. So what I use is screen dash lowercase d and two uppercase r's.
Like-
Yes, like this, right. So this is like how I always encode a screen, because this will reattach to any screen whatsoever, and then if you type space, you can give it a name. Say like sim for simulation or so. Yes, like whatever you want, right. And then if you detach, control DE, and then if you screen dash ls again, then you see this as project. If you create a new one with DRR in project 2, right, then you also attach in, and then you have like several screens running. Also like, for instance, what I was being logged in on several clusters, there's several login nodes all the time, and watching some runs there.
So how do I switch? Do I have to detach? And
Yeah,
then
now,
LS?
If you wanted to attach it to project 1 again, you just do the DRR project 1. If you
Oh, and you just
name, it will reattach to
do that name.
deattach.
Interesting. I've never used screen before. Huzzah for broadband.
Questions for me. So if people, so the issue I have this screen and that it doesn't have like the back and forward of the command function, which makes it very difficult to use. Is there a way to solve that? Because the normal technology is putting my config and then all works. Can I in any way propagate this to screen? Because so far I was just using a terminal and only for actually execution of jobs you go to screen because the working on it is super tedious. And then you exit again.
So it looks like I can do Control R to do a search of my history, which gets me some things, not all things.
Have the backward forward of like all the things by time and then anyone?
Try adding that input.rc file and see if that helps. That I did.
Okay, well, it has working screen actually.
Okay, let's follow up. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Try putting those in. See if that helps. Other random questions about things. I'm going to look up the watch command. And you notice I'm here on 18, but I don't have the job ID information in my prompt because I logged into the node from the back end. Probably shouldn't do that. Well, that seems bad. I'm going to leave. Goodbye. Control D means go away. Oh, that was a screen. See, I'm going to be... How do I kill all my screens? How do I get rid of them?
Are they, no, but the screen has terminated there, right?
One of them. I don't know. I logged out of one of them. How do I make sure they're all dead? AUX. No, I've got this one running here.
In that case, then screen dash R to see what percentage.
Oh, I guess I can
There's a
screen, I can LS and see if it exists. And I could attach it to the, I can, or I can just kill it.
Both ways you did that.
Okay. Goodbye. Out of there. Bye bye. Control D means exit or log out. That's what I'm hitting all the time until you get to the end. All right. Other random questions. We got 5 minutes left. Now is the time to ask your most random question. Yeah.
Any good ways of transferring files back and forth between HPC, or do you use a GUI grid?
So there's Git is, I think, critical if you're trying to keep, you want your scripts or your application files, you make a change here, you make a change there. If you're changing it all the time and you want to keep them synchronized across, I think Git. If you just got large files, there's the SCP command, secure copy. Learn how some of the syntax for that.
Yeah, just like faster ways, because SCP can be a bit of a pain.
Tar it up and, tar it up locally.
Parsing.
rsync. If you have a huge amount of files in HPC, I can point you at some parallel utilities, but those have to run on HPC, not good for transferring them to your laptop. But within HPC, there's some parallel utilities.
Actually, rsync, remember these discussions we had the other day about file systems? Rsync is a very dangerous command because rsync typically can.
And ask the local center if they have special nodes that are configured. Like we have nodes that have a fatter Ethernet pipe to the internet and go around firewalls and do, have better access for huge data. Like if you're doing AI or machine learning and you have to get the data set, ask the experts. The experts are there to help you do it. You don't want to be sitting at your computer for 2 days waiting for it to transfer, right? If something's going to take 2 days, get some help so that you can at least not have to be sitting there for 2 days yourself. It is time to go. Yolanta, I know you had your hand up. But it's time for coffee break. We're doing coffee break early so we can do the other part of the hands-on early and then go to dinner on time. So thank you all for joining me. I appreciate chilling with you this afternoon. I hope you heard something interesting or useful. I welcome any feedback. If you liked it or didn't like it, I'd love to hear about it. I try to be chill, but if it was too chill, let me know. Or if it was the right pace, let me know. Have a good afternoon, and I'll see y'all in the next session and then dinner. Thank you again.